Benden gül bitiren Rabbim. Bana da bir çıkış yolu göster ne olur.
Nasıl davranırsan davran, ben o gerçek haini bulacağım.
Fırsat ayağına kadar geldi. Sen de haini bulmak istiyorsan içindeki yazıya bakalım. Olayı kapatalım.
The big showdown between Zeynep and Halil. Secrets are revealed. Hello, friends. Welcome to our Ruzgarly Teep episode analysis. How will trust be restored between Zeynep and Halil? Will Nihan be able to reveal the truth even if she knows her family is safe? Will Songul be able to escape Tului's revenge-filled games? Will Kazım and Tekin's plan to silence the maid succeed? Will Halil and Zeynep be able to solve the mystery behind Nihan's escape? You can find all the details in our video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell while watching. Those who say we want Halil and Zeynep to be real husband and wife are waiting for your heart emojis. While Zeynep is hiding in the warehouse, Halil comes to the front of the warehouse after the sound coming from the warehouse. In the meantime, the cat coming out changes all the balances. Halil thinks the noise is because of the cat. Zeynep also leaves the warehouse thanks to this. Kazım escapes from being caught at the last minute. On the other hand, Eren tries to convince his mother to take him to the doctor. Kamru also tells him about the trick Hikmet played on Selma. She says that the reason for Hikmet's allergy is the nettle. His aim was to hurt you, but his allergy affected him. Halil comes to the man he caught again. He tries every way to make him talk. On the other hand, Halil catches Zeynep while she is trying to escape from the farm. Zeynep says, I will find Nihal and bring her to you. I am not a collaborator. I will prove this to you, she says. On the other hand, Semel takes care of the new woman. However, this woman came to the house to find the lady of the house's fault. Zeynep is very angry because she could not escape from Halil's hands. Zeynep is very angry. Did you send someone after me? Halil covers Zeynep's mouth, who won't stop talking. The man tried to bomb us, he says. He says, no leaving this mansion until he is found. Zeynep says, I have to find Nihan. Hakan calls Halil. He says, we found Nihan and brought her. Halil says, take her to the workshop, we are coming. Zeynep says, did you find Nihan? Halil says, yes. Let's see how you are going to make her talk, he says. On the other side, Hikmet and Kamru continue to quarrel. As soon as Zeynep sees Nihan, she shows her the letter. Did you write this letter, she says. Nihan remembers Tariq's threats. He had threatened her mother and father. Halil on one side, Zeynep on the other side. Zeynep tries to get Halil's phone with Lades. Halil doesn't want to accept it first. He says, you will be upset if you lose. When he puts pressure on her, Nihan faints. On the other hand, he sees Tekin in front of the workshop. Tekin says, I was waiting for my wife. I said I would come to the workshop when I was late. When Gulhin comes, Tekin goes with her. Eren comes to Selma. Selma says, I made you angry. Eren says the child is a big responsibility. Selma confirms this. So Eren thinks my mother was right. The idea of a child scares Selma. Zeynep tries to wake Nihan up. Halil calls a doctor for Nihan. The doctor comes. She wakes up in a moment. She says she had a seizure. When she wakes up, she says she should walk around in the open air in a stress-free environment. Tekin is afraid that Nihan will wake up and tell everything. Songul does her best not to run into Tuli in her own room. In the meantime, she calls Fikret and tells him to destroy the man who burned the tree. Tuli tries to make Songul do everything Songul did in the past one by one. Songul remembers what happened. Tuli asks how it is to be tested with your sins. She does and says everything that Songul did and said to her before. As Tuli leaves the room, Songul says, I will make you pay for what happened. Tekin goes to Kazım. If the maid talks in Halil's hands, I will be finished. Kazım says, then silence her. Then Kazım, get rid of the maid, find consent, they will take me away from the highways. You will help me, he says. Tekin says, I will do what you say helplessly. While Gulhin is alone in the garden, Hakan watches her. He notices that she is cold. He brings her a shawl. Gulhin is very scared of Hakan. She saw him saying that he came to kill her sister. Gulhin asks where Tekin is. When Hakan comes, ask him. When Nihan wakes up, Zeynep takes care of her. Nihan says, I will tell the truth. However, she says I was threatened with my family. I will tell the truth. But I have to make sure my family is protected, he says. Zeynep asks where your family is. Zeynep calls Semel. She tells him to take Nihan's family to a safe place. Semel says let me ask Halil Bey. Zeynep says I talked to Semel. He knows our safe places. Semel says okay. I will let you know, he says. Selma and Eren think about the baby. Hikmet tells how difficult a situation the child is. A child changes everything. Hikmet says when you have a child, everything takes shape accordingly. Kumru fully supports Eren about the child. Selma says I get more and more anxious as she pushes me. Nin doesn't want to talk or eat. Halil finds it hard to talk. It's okay to feel comfortable, he says. It's enough to just say what's written in the letter in front of Halil and Zeynep. Zeynep leaves to get water for Nihan. Nihan starts to run away with the message. Tuli literally has Songul wrapped around her finger. Songul waits for news from Fikret. Fikret says I couldn't finish the man's job. On the other hand, she talks to Kumru about her dream. Selma gets support from Hikmet about designing jewelry. Selma says I will do the job I dream of. Hikmet gives Selma full support on this issue, as long as she doesn't bring the baby issue to the agenda. Eren sighs and says, for the best. Zeynep is aware that Nihan got scared and ran away. Who scared her so much? She thinks about what kind of threat she is under. Halil says she got scared of Zeynep and ran away. Halil and Zeynep go after Nihan. It is not easy to find her. He also asks his men about Nihan. Halil and Zeynep find Nihan's cardigan. Zeynep looks in one direction and Halil looks in another. In the meantime, Zeynep falls on the path she chose. Halil is forced to return. Nihan is saved thanks to this. Halil finds Zeynep. Are you okay, he asks. Zeynep says I am okay. Zeynep thinks we will be at each other's throats again. Zeynep says I won't be able to prove my innocence if Nihan escapes. The door rings and the courier arrives. Kumru opens the door. The courier says Selma has orders. Kumru says there is no Selma here. However, Hikmet Hanım does not delay in taking matters into her own hands. Selma lives here, she tells the courier. She will be my bride. She takes the orders and informs Selma. Gulhin and Tekin chat. Gulhin suddenly feels nauseous. She immediately runs to the sink. While Zeynep is thinking about Nihan, Semel comes to her. He says I took Nihan's family to a safe place. In the meantime, Halil sends a message to Zeynep. He says come to the workshop. As Eren lies down on his bed, the pliers dig into his hand. Selma says I will work tonight. Eren says he won't sleep. You lie on the couch, I will lie down for a bit tonight. Eren says the beds are separated, 1 minute, 1 goal. Eren goes to the couch. Halil has come to the workshop with Nihan. Halil asks Nihan once more when Zeynep arrives. Nihan says what is written in the letter is true. She says she made me write everything. Halil can't get over the shock of what he heard for a while. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for new episodes. Take care. Goodbye.